Every founder wants to believe their business stands for something bigger. But when the bills stack up, purpose gets tested. What happens when your biggest client asks you to compromise your values for a paycheck? Today, we're exploring the razor's edge between profit and purpose, and where our vision meets our survival.
Let's get into it. Everybody, welcome back to Never in Reverse podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Axel, co-host Doug Cox. We are on episode 40. What are we, mid-November, man?
40.
Mid-November. The weather's starting to turn.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. It's turned. Gosh, come on, June.
Colorado's like this, man. Colorado, you just never know what you're going to get. It could be 70, it could be negative 20. So
Central Oregon's the same way.
Welcome back, guys. Episode 40, Never in Reverse. You guys can like, subscribe, find us on Spotify, YouTube, all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X, etc. Like, subscribe, guys. We're going to dive into profit versus purpose. This one is going to be a big one for me, man. It's something that really aligns with me, to be honest with you. And I've had some experiences on the other side of kind of my values as a person and where I want to lead our team. So, Doug, temptation and profit, man. Man, I can tell you just on your journey, I've kind of had as a sales guy, I know what that steering looks like and what our core focus typically, what makes us tick. And sometimes that doesn't always align it could align perfectly with the company's vision or how they conduct themselves, or it could go astray. So there's this winding road, I think, that opportunities present. And I got a pretty, I'd say I have a nice vision of guardrails around what I think we should be doing as a team and what that means to me. I'm a firm believer, guys. If you're an entrepreneur and you're in this journey, guys, this is a very, very, very tough position. But I think that your decisions as a leader or allowing the leaders in your organization to fulfill your vision this is a critical space to get real people to follow you. People versus profit.
It's tough. It's tough. I know as sales guys, sell it, figure it out later, right? I mean, there's a lot of organizations and mentalities that operate that way. And unfortunately, it can be your Achilles heel, where you agree to take on a project and at the end of the day, you unravel it and you go, gosh, we are not the right fit to fulfill this. And you do it time and time again. And the pressure that it doesn't just put on you as a salesperson or an operations, the pressure that it puts on the entire organization when you steer outside of your core competencies of what you can support and align. And I get it. As entrepreneurs and in new organizations, you're trying to keep this revenue engine alive. You're trying to keep the money flow coming in, and you don't want to say no. But it's through experience and for myself, in this role over the years, it's refining, and it's listening, to the folks, in this industry that have had experience and,
yes.
As salespeople. And I know for me, I want to show that I'm contributing, or that salesperson wants to show that they're contributing, in support of the customer and then revenue to the organization. But there are times you got to question, is this the right fit and alignment with this customer or this service or this part or this project? And I've gotten better through experience of saying no, because we want to help and support and we want to generate revenue. But at the end of the day, are you going to be able to align and support that customer at a high level?
And guys, I'll tell you what, don't chase money. Don't. It's like it's the worst thing. As a leader, in my book, I will chase process and integrity time and time and time again. If you're leading your company and you genuinely tell your team, or if there's an opportunity that they lean into that doesn't align and you ask them why they didn't go after it, you're deflecting integrity for profit. You're going to create no cultural awareness. People are going to be disconnected from your vision. You're not going to have a balanced view on how to conduct yourself during those times. I think that under pressure as a leader is the most important time to shine. Doug, do I deter you guys in downtimes around who we are?
No, we stay true to ourselves. We stay true to ourselves, and where opportunity arises, and I've gone through a extensive sales training, as a number of folks have, and I revert back, and I've in the early beginnings of coming on board here, I got away from this process, and it was pre-qualifying questions, right? So as a salesperson, you should have a script of pre-qualifying questions to see in your discovery, okay, yeah, this customer's coming to you because there's a problem, right? Or the resource constraints, or, support constraints, or things that haven't gone well. So now an opportunity comes in. And why is that? Because they're coming to you to solve a problem. In most cases, that's sales, right? You're solving a problem for that customer. May it be a parts, service, whatever it may be. Now, in your pre-qualifying questions, in your discovery phase, and asking this, do they align or not align with your products and support? And if they don't, it's okay to say, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I don't think we're a good match. We're a right fit. Maybe here's an avenue to look at, or a resource to call. Or you get through this and go, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, you're in the right spot. You align with what we do, what we support. We can help you and fulfill it at the highest level.
And there's
but it's
a
in that
balance
discovery
here.
phase, and those pre-qualifying questions of, in that discovery phase, do they align?
And there's
Don't
a
get away
balance,
from that.
guys.
The moment we get away from that, then we're chasing money, we're chasing profit. We're not in line with our process. And now what does that do when we go outside those guardrails, or outside that fence? You sell, you support this product that you propose, and what kind of downward pressure does that put on the rest of the organization?
Yeah, and I had a guy one time in the last 4 or 5 years. I just told him one time, man, I put people before profit. And he goes, I never heard that before. And I went, well, why don't you sit on it for a night and let's discuss that. Mm-hmm. The minute you start, let's say you're shifting your market, or you weren't paying attention and something happened, and you start getting, I would say, insecure around the financial position of your organization. Maybe you haven't done something that was protecting that, or you weren't thinking outside the box. There's a lot that the market shifted, a competitor came in with something new, whatever. The minute you lose focus of that, and you put your vision on the profit of the organization or a financial gain to keep the doors open, you're going to create this, I feel like, this downward spiral to the market, and you as a human, they're going to bridge the gap between who you are and what you bring to the space. So you got to stay true to yourself. You just don't get lazy. Have a keen eye. Always stay nimble. Stay true to the market. Have your finger on there, like making sure you understand the pulse of the reality of what's happening. But you also, sometimes there's processes, or you're trying to get into a different part of the market, and you need to lean there, and you've already started that way. It's okay to stretch. I would say you can stretch into that space as long as you've already leaned into moving that direction to maybe add a new product offering, right? But someone comes to you with something that's there, and I always do this now. Hey, engineering, what do you guys think? Yes or no? Does it sit inside of where you guys are at currently? Can we support that in that side of it? And if they say not a good fit this time, but that is something in the future, I just say, cool, I'm good. I'm okay with that. And there's a profit there. So, and it happens sometimes in the downward side of our market. And I'm okay with that, because I'm a firm believer our time is better spent laying the foundation and building our structure and our processes to support that ideal client. So be careful jumping in and chasing money. You chase money as an entrepreneur, that's so narrow-minded. You'll lose sight of what you started for, your product offering, bringing something new to the market, what we all get excited about, a different twist to the market. You're going to chase money. They're going to sense that you can't support the reality of it. Your infrastructure is not set. So always say no. Doug, I've told you from day one, what is the best thing you can tell people? I always tell you, no.
You can say no. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit.
If it makes you go, ooh, man, we can do that, but this is going to be, then don't do it. Because the next,
but then again, don't just ignore it. I mean, measure the market. If you're saying no to this, but you're seeing this repeat opportunity, right? You're seeing this repeat opportunity that doesn't align today. maybe it's time to step back and analyze, is there business opportunity in, this segment? I'm seeing these requests, I'm seeing these inquiries, I'm seeing these questions, is it worth us, like you said, stretching that a bit? And, maybe not today, but what does the future look like if we went that route? What is the ROI?
And I think, let's get it narrow back down to like the company values, right? Like we all launch and they have all these values and stuff like that. And then I'll be honest with you, like in our journey, I want to go revisit that with our team and kind of create that culture. We're ready for that, like honest structure around our culture, because I created them. They're there and they're important to me, but is it truly what we are? You know what I mean? Like it's time for us to kind of get that perfect mold. I think some of them are true. Some of them have evolved and expanded to a bigger element of what I envisioned. So purpose-driven or purpose-delusional, like, we set visions and they can become unrealistic to the team, or to the market. They can become toxic because that leader holds on to things so hard, and the reality of that purpose, or that what they think that the team should understand and the market should understand. I've seen that, man. They just hold on to it. They don't believe it. They're not willing to release the ability that maybe the market didn't allow it at that point in time. Maybe you're too early, or maybe you're a little late. Maybe it's a little, your marketing or your position wasn't sound enough. Maybe there's so many things that can happen. So just don't let the toxicity of the market or your team, don't hurt them by holding on, right? Like it's okay to be like, we've had some shifts. We did some applications that were a little early, and I said, okay, they're still there, and actually they're good timing now. But I just went, okay, the market's they're not understanding it, so I shifted, and I'm like, cool,
it's not ready.
It's not ready. So
let's table this for now.
But I think it's okay, to admit that, the market's not ready, or your team's not ready, or you've outgrown maybe your original purpose, and get some feedback. And I think that it's time for that for us. I've been thinking about that as like, man, our company values and true position of those, and like, what's real? Can I stand behind it? Do people feel that there's integrity behind that? Just, it doesn't sound good to the market, right? Like, what is the purpose? Where are we going as a unit? It's time to kind of, I think we're in this time to shift, because we're going up the steps, and that step at 10 years ago is way different than it is now. We got more people that I think we need to kind of rewind that and go, man, where do we want to see ourselves in the next 5 to 10 years? And can this team currently give that structure to get to that stage? Let's set the goals high, and let's see if we can all get behind it, not just what I think, right? And can we all live in integrity and authenticity no matter what? Like that, to me, that's where we want to get. Like, I think it's time for that, right? So, it's
it's keeping a pulse. It's also keeping a pulse on your industry, your vertical, your opportunities, and your competition. And, because let's be honest, business evolution, I think we're going to see, the evolution of industries and businesses with technology are going to evolve at a much greater rate than we've ever seen before. Well, you better have a pulse on that, and your team cohesively better understand that we've got to have a pulse on these elements, because we're going to see these shifts and changes. It's also going to create opportunities. But if you don't have a pulse on that, and if you have a narrow-minded focus, you're going to be the car on the racetrack doing 50 miles an hour and everybody else is doing 120, and they're going to pass you.
That sounds like you versus me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always going 120. Doug's like, slow down, dude.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Do you ever put your foot off the gas, Ax? No.
No.
As a leader, let your ego down and understand that times as you grow your team and you a lot of us think that they're, on the top of this mountain, and we got, the question that people always get is, how many people you got working for you? I'm like, how many people are you working for? How are we doing this together? I think that's such a different mindset. Like, I'm like, no, I'm working with you guys, for you guys, to lay this foundation. Let's do it together. And I think, like, make sure that the purpose, if I'm out of the room and one of our team members is in the elevator, is the dynamic and the integrity of that person the same as if I were there? Is it like, if that's true, then I think we're we're in alignment. I think that's like what this critical bridging point. I think our team is, but I still think we need to capture this roundedness to concrete and set that foundation instead of just like, oh, that sounds good. I believe that, but we don't live up to that. And that comes down to this purpose-driven thing versus profit. And I think, finding that middle ground of profit versus integrity for me is like this harmonious spot, right? Like peaceful spot. I always tell you guys, go to bed with your pillow, your head on the pillow, and you never have to remember what you said or did. If you do that, man, inside this, you're winning. And for
you'll sleep
leaders
peacefully.
out there, I've had those guys where you can just tell they're just giving you these buzzwords and all this crap, and that they're not living a life with their kids and their wife that are in alignment with that. And what happens is it creates a lot of distance between your employees because they know you're not living a life of integrity. They know that you're not sincere and authentic to yourself. Behind closed doors, are you the same person? Are you living the same lifestyle? You hear those things where like guy got caught doing this and you're going, what? I mean, there was one on recently, and this comes down to integrity. That guy got caught on a NBA game or something like that.
Oh gosh, the kiss cam deal.
The kiss cam.
Yep.
Perfect life, CEO, good family, kiss cam. Integrity. Who are you? Like, do you live that life as a dad, as a friend, as a parent of integrity? Are you okay with your mistakes being human, right? Like, just because you're leading an organization, you don't have to be perfect. It's okay but what we've been taught, and I think that some of the great leaders are the ones that are not living a life necessarily of integrity. They kind of got this hidden thing, but they've got great presentation and leadership. They
present well, but there's demons in the closet. Yeah.
And when I say great leaders, that's what we perceive as being great. And I think we're going through this global shift. Is like, nah, dude, this younger generation is like, nope, you better lead with integrity. You better be honest. You better be real. Don't bullshit me. Like give me the truth and all, no matter if it's good or bad, they're going to get behind that more. Like where I think that when you share your weakness, there's always a promise to get better. Like I think you can keep leaning into that, right? Like it's in terms of purpose versus profit. I think as a leader, just figure out that perfect balance of like, man, profit and integrity. Integrity is like, listen, our team knows exactly where we fit. It's okay to say no. Give everyone the ability to say no. I think I lean into people on our team already where I'm like, nah, man, I want you to say no. Say that isn't a good idea. Say, don't tell me just because I think something because I'm passionate about something, because that's just keeping me in this bubble. Expand me, but don't give me. So if I know more than you on a topic and you've been delegated as that expert, or you're kind of sitting in this comfort zone, I'm like, the shit that's happening every day, like around us. So as things keep moving, let's expand that. But I think the profit versus purpose is like overall is a general concept is like, that's a harmonious place.
Well, and if your purpose is in the right position, it's going to bring profit, right? If it's aligned well, if it's profit first, what other things sacrifice, because now it's the money chase versus, and that's only going to get you so far. Your purpose and your message in how you support, organizations with a service or a product, your purpose is going to generate profit if it aligns and you practice what you preach and you deliver upon what you've agreed to.
But that starts with the ability on employees, everyone on your team, though. Sorry for cutting you off, Doug. You got to get that to that win-win mentality. You got to give them under pressure, no matter what that looks like. Profitability comes in soft costs from deadlines and timelines and new additions to selling it's a whole. There's costs all around that have profitability or the lack thereof. Right. I think that to give the team the ability to not sit complacent, but sit within the ability to make those sound decisions for the greater good of everyone. I think it's important, and that's a win-win. That's like if they're in this harmonious spot or they're in the stretch spot, like that, it's okay to stretch, but like we all got to get centered back to that next step up of harmony, like win-win for both sides. I like to push.
And confidence, and confidence in your deliverables and in your product, right? good salespeople, they're going to push and promote something that they're confident in.
I had a guy on the marketing side tell me, he's like, hey man, I'm stacked. And I was asking for something else. I said, I get it. We got it. Because he's already stretched. If I do that again, it's win me, lose him. Win me, lose him. Who cares if I'm on top? Like, dude, we're doing this together. Like, thank you for being authentic to where you're at. Like, that's instead of like, they got it. Oh, I got it. Find that purpose-driven balance and allow your team to live authentically within that, no matter what the profitability, no matter if it's a sales guy, no matter if it's a financial decision, no matter if it's an investment at the end of the year to get some stuff off your books. We've done that before, like, hey, make a decision and not good or bad, but we've made some bad ones, make a lot more bad than we did good, but we learn.
But learn from mistakes. Yeah.
But I think just make that balance around your purpose, around profit and the delusions, a win-win for your team. Be real with it and be okay with them pushing back to be authentic. The worst case as a leader in my book is when you ask your team member to do something and they push back and you use your pedestal to, I'm the boss, or
as authority. In the wrong fashion. Yeah.
I can do that to Doug because I put my thumb on him and just write him, but that's just
exactly
different. No. It's like being okay with that. Like, to me, I'm like, as I tell you, I'm like, man, if we got men and women here working, we're good, man, because they know they're going to tell me exactly where they're at. And I'm like, got it. I get it. I've been there. I know what that's like. I got to respect that person's position. But the moment you start hierarchying this, you're going to lose sight of them being authentic and them being able to have that driven purpose around where they know they're at and where they can succeed. So I think it's
it's the old saying of, how do you move a string? Like, you lay a string on a table. How do you move it? You pull it, not push it.
Yep.
Right? An analogy. And as leadership in leadership roles, how are you going to move that string? You're going to pull it. You can't sit there and push and push and push. It's not going to work. And eventually, you sit there and you push and push and push people from this place of hierarchy or authority. It's not going to respond well. Now, if you're going to get in it with them and pull it, and I'm going to be a part of it with you, and if we see there's gaps, we'll address them, but we're going to pull this string together rather than being the king on the hill and pushing it.
100%. I giggle when people give me pushback. I do. I mean, you've done it. Like, I just laugh. I'm like, okay. I mean, what are you going to say to that? Like,
but it's it's an open mindset, right? And you and I have great lines of communication in that fashion that we take constructive criticism well. It's not like, I have the title, I have the badge, I say what goes, I'm right, you're wrong. No, it's like, let's unravel this. And from my experience and my perspective, this is what I think. And then from my perspective and my point of view, this is what I think. And we analyze, and then we bring it together and put things together in a better fashion cohesively.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the general on the hill.
But right. I think, as we wind this episode down, guys, I think the biggest thing is, making sure you're always aligning, your integrity and your purpose around being the forward leader instead of profitability. I mean, profitability, what I've learned is it will come and go. It too shall pass, but and it will get great and it shrinks at times. But I can tell you what, the way that you approach your life, integrity, your purpose, your values, who you are as a person, good and bad. It's okay to wear the sleeves of, you don't have to hide behind your ugly, right? Like, that will never.
We all
pass.
have flaws.
No one's gonna remember your profitability. So just be honest with yourself and try to find that perfect science around how to lead that in your own life. And don't worry about leading others that way. Lead yourself that way, and they too shall follow. Don't give them the fake it, and then you're doing two things at work and home. Like, work on that central hub of you as a person and cast that vision down to your team. Like, this is how we do it, and that's okay. And I think the rest shall follow, right? Don't do the opposite on two lines of your life. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us on this episode of Never in Reverse, episode 40. I'm your host, Jeremy Axel, co-host, the man, Doug Cox. Again, guys, align your integrity and your purpose first, and then dive into the rest of
Profit shall come.
Profit shall come. Like, subscribe, find us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Spotify. Until next time, guys, appreciate your time, and thanks for joining us on this journey. Take care.
Thanks again.